Still my favorite part.
Ooh, all right, guys, welcome. I mean, we're left to our own devices today, so there was no one to rally us in here. So sorry, we're a little late starting today, but here we are, me and David, ready to talk to you about
This
this
is
recent week of Australia, the penultimate week of Australian Survivor versus
Christy.
World.
Christy, do you feel like mom's not home and we could like break into the liquor cabinet a little bit and just have some fun?
Listen, I know where she hides the key. I'm just saying.
And you know what we'll
Um,
do? We'll drink the vodka, we'll fill it back up with water. She'll never know.
You know what? You can put tea in for a darker vibe. Okay. I'm just saying.
I'm
Anyway, so welcome. We had, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that we are right at the end of this thing. But we're here to talk about 7, 8, and 9, right? Am I right?
7, 8, and 9.
Okay, 7, 8, and 9. And wow, I've got to tell you, if people are not watching this episode, this season of Survivor, what they're doing here, I mean, what a shame, because you are getting every single thing we love about Survivor in like this condensed, like ultra flavor packed morsel. uh I love it.
Yeah, it's like Survivor Speed or something. I have to say, I have been hypercritical about the 26-day game in the US and the
Hmm.
shorter game and
And
I
this is
have to
B.
say this is a 16-day game
Hmm.
with just about with one episode or two episodes less than what they would get out of a normal season of US Survivor, and this has been a barn burner.
Yeah, it
So
has.
I want to revise it by saying it's not the shorter game, it's what you do with it.
It's the players. Let's
Well,
be
of
honest.
course. I mean, I
So
mean, everyone is a category killer.
absolutely. You have a 16-day game, but you have people who already know how to play the game. So you don't have to have any of that like any of that beginning get to know you time. And so I think they could do a 26-day if they did better at casting, or I don't know, when they're in sequester before, why don't you prep them? Prep them like crazy.
Or
Get them
maybe
hyped.
just lose the focus on the backstory, because there's been no
Yeah, that's
backstory.
true too.
This has
You know,
simply been Survivor gameplay.
listen, when you have a regular season and you have all of those players, whether this is fair or not, not everyone deserves a backstory. Okay. If you don't make it to jury, why do you need it? Why do you deserve a backstory? Okay. As it gets a little deeper, when there's less things to see, maybe you focus in and tell us a little bit about different players when they're new, but there's no reason that it can't just be a game and get out there and play.
No,
Anyway.
I mean it has been outstanding. I mean, you're talking about 3 episodes where I was on the edge of my seat for the entire time.
I
I mean,
mean,
I even cared about the competitions. I didn't fast forward through them. Oh, I've never done that. I've
they're
never ever fast
so
forwarded through a competition.
you like the social aspect more, is what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying that sometimes the competitions, you can get what's going
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
200 200% normal pace.
Right. And there are those Survivor fans that they like the competitions more than anything else there. I like the strategy because you can win competitions or lose competitions. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win the entire game. But I guess we will go back to the beginning, all the way back Sunday when we got to see episode 7. And this episode, we were down to our final. Was that when we were at final 7? All right,
It's final,
David, jump it.
yeah,
Was that
final
6?
7,
Final 7.
final
And
7, and because Tommy had just been voted off when last we met, right?
nope, not Tommy. Tony. Was it not Tony?
No, it was Tommy.
Kirby. No, Tony.
Oh,
Tony
you're
went
right.
out this
It
week.
was Kirby.
It was Kirby. Jeez. They're going so fast, y'all. We can't keep up. So yes,
Oh,
Kirby
right,
had
because
gone.
they did the double eviction. That's what threw me. Okay,
Correct.
I
So we
stand corrected. I'm going to
so
stand. I stand
because
corrected.
because we saw these shifts back and forth between Australia and the world, it's weird how they're kind of like mixing and melding and coming together and seriously not trusting each other at all, even though um, a lot of moving the shells around.
Oh, I'm saying, I mean, it's interesting to see all these consummate game players because there's no trust at all.
But they're not
But
mean
but
about
yet
it. They're not
but
mean
yet
about it, right? They're
but
just like,
yet what we're seeing is loyalty that you normally wouldn't see in a game.
mm-hmm.
So it's kind of an odd alchemy of strangeness.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So we ended up getting to so we lost Cass and Kirby, and Sunday night, oh gosh, we're gonna have to jump to the wiki to keep us on track without mom here to keep us on track.
I'm saying.
Oh, we're gonna get in trouble. Um, but I am really stuck on, I guess we can just talk about it while I'm looking this up. The fact that Parvati and Luke, their like little showdown last night or yesterday.
Yep.
That showdown at the end there where they're looking at each other trying to figure out who they're going to play it for, but neither of them wants to play it.
Oh,
But
now you're jumping way
I
ahead.
am. That's why I said I'm going to jump ahead because that was, oh my gosh, that should be the moment. If you had to take one clip to kind of define the season, that might be it.
It was outstanding. And just to set the stage, when last we met, Kirby had been voted out,
Mm-hmm.
not Cass or Tommy. That was
Oh,
both
that's right. That's the
in
next day.
episode 7, which we're going to talk about
Okay, there we go. So we're up to date.
first.
Now, first I have to say that I did have the enjoyment of watching this particular episode with Jamie as she came through town. So we watched this Sunday night together. It was lots of fun, but neither of us took notes because we were having too much fun talking. But it was really great. It was really great. But we were just shocked. This one went on, like the fact that we were going to tribal when we were like, what, 20 minutes into it? It seemed like it was very early.
And Tommy wins immunity.
Right. Yeah, and he had to win that because if he hadn't won it, I think he knew he was going. I mean, obviously right then.
He was going home. And then we had, for my money, one of the better tribals I've seen in a while.
Because everyone, world-class liars, right?
I mean, unbelievable. I mean, Cass had her own salvation in her hand and let it slip through like sand. I mean, she pulled the idol out.
Yeah.
And do you think when she pulled the idol out, she intended to play it for Lisa? Or do you think she intended to play it for herself?
I think she was going to play it for Lisa.
Right, which I think was the mistake. I think that was the misread. Because when Parvati pulled out her scroll and said, I can take your thing, and I don't honestly think that's fair because it never said this has to be presented prior to tribal on the scroll. And I think Jonathan should have clarified that. I think that's bull that she could bluff like that. In other words, she knew something about her advantage nobody else did. And I think he should have jumped in and said, well, we all know that would have had to have been played before you got here.
But was that really the rule?
Yeah, she couldn't play it. It was a total bluff.
Oh, I thought she could use it there.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
because she said it in the next episode. She said, I knew I couldn't use it there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in that moment, her pulling her idol and just kind of like flexing all her power on them did not, I mean, let's face it, none of them trust her anyway. They all think she needs to go, right? Other than Suri. Because I think Suri just doesn't care. If it's her, it's her. If it's Parvati, it's Parvati. One of them wins.
Suri just wants to taste the end once.
Oh my God, Suri, this poor
girl. And you can't blame her. But Suri, love you. Learn how to make fire. Because I want to say this. We talked for 9 minutes last time about Suri's inability to make fire. And what I had forgotten was Suri actually was sent home because she lost a fire challenge in the first season she played. I
Yeah.
should have remembered that, but I'm an old man, and they say memory is the second thing to go, and they're not wrong. And I just, didn't recall it. But the point is, if you went home because you couldn't make fire, you think you'd come back and know how to make fire. I'm just
You
saying.
would think, right? But they got on that episode, they got the spa day, right?
Yep.
And Cass takes Parvati, Suri, and Tommy. Is that to keep Parvati and Suri from talking to anybody else? I mean, it was obviously world strong there,
No.
right?
Cass thought poverty was playing with the world.
Do you think she still believed that, or she was just
Absolutely, because
hedging her?
otherwise, why wouldn't she have played the idol for herself? She thought there was no way on God's green earth poverty was writing her name down.
So is it that she trusted Parvati, or she was too like sure of her game? Was it that Parvati couldn't get the best of her, or that Parvati wasn't as good?
I think poverty got the best of her.
Yeah, but she was thinking like, I got her. Like I'm playing this.
So poverty, she pulls out her idol.
Yeah.
She's flexing. I got the idol, and then Cass pulls out the idol, which is a smart thing to do in that situation. And what she should have done is put it on.
She should have.
So now all of a sudden, poverty pulls out the scroll and tries to bluff that she can take the idol right then, which she could not, but nobody knew that. And then Cass convinces her she's playing it for Lisa. And Poverty says, okay.
But
that should have been, but here's the thing. Once Poverty said, okay, that should have been the clue. She didn't care it was going to be played for Lisa.
Right.
So the smart thing to do would have been then walk away to Jonathan, I'm playing this for myself. Because that should have been her clue. When Poverty said it was okay.
Yeah, it's really weird because you see in many of the conversations that Cass is having with other people, you can see she's at that point where she is not trusting Poverty, right?
But she trusted her in that moment.
She did, but it's weird. It's like, where did that come from? Because it didn't seem like she seemed to be smarter than that. You know what I mean? As far as
I thought for sure she was playing the best game up until this moment. Yeah. And of course, now I say that she was my winner's pick. I was devastated with the outcome of this vote because if she'd have put that idol on, who would have gone home? Suri, right? What was the vote?
Yeah, I'm not sad that Suri didn't go home though. I really do like her. And oh my gosh, Lisa has such a crush.
I know.
But that kind of starts all of that, right? Because the crux of that whole situation was that Lisa did not want to write down Suri's name.
I pulled it up on the wiki.
Right.
There were 5 votes for Cass, 1 vote for Shawnee, and 2 votes for Luke. So if Cass plays her idol in that moment, Luke goes home, and Poverty has no choice but to cleave to the world because she no longer has the numbers.
Mm-hmm. So it changed the whole dynamic, the entire game. Yeah. But that's the things. The game changes at every tribal, probably, right? I mean, if it's good gameplay. But they go into camp. They're commiserating before tribal, and they want to take out Suri. Luke and Janine go in and talk to Cass about it, right? They kind of try and they're all kind of going on it. They go to try and tell Lisa, and they tell her at the last minute or whatever, and they didn't like it. And she was honest with them. But I think maybe she needed to be more concise. Like, okay, you guys can vote for Suri. That sounds like a plan. But just know that I promised Suri that I would never write her name down, and I just can't. Right. I'm not going to blow your cover. I cannot.
And there's a lot of talk that Lisa on the jury is a vote for Poverty, and I think she's a vote for Suri. But we'll get there.
Well,
we'll get there at the end.
That's because people still don't think Suri is going to be at the end. That it's going to be Poverty.
Well, if it's a player making challenge, you can be assured she won't be at the end.
You don't know. She could be against someone even worse. You don't know.
No, all 3 of the other people can make fire.
But the chaos at tribal again, where they all have to get up and walk around and talk to each other.
Do you think that's a trend they're going to have to stop? Because while it makes for interesting tribals, it's not good TV.
I don't think they can stop it because
Sure, they
it
can. They can
is.
say you must stay in your seat, and
They could, but this is them actually playing the game. Sometimes they're not playing until they're at tribal
well,
because
but I
they're.
think, but that's a tendency I'm
Mm,
seeing.
yeah,
We've seen it on AU, we've seen it on US. Now we're seeing it on this. You never saw that, huddling up in the corner at tribal. Okay, I'm going to have to riff here because Christy apparently
sorry.
is dying.
Dying. I
Um,
swallowed the wrong way. Okay, sorry.
okay, that's the
Anyway,
wrong tube. That's what she
that is
said.
that. Yeah, yeah. You gotta read. That's how you have to breathe. Um, but yeah, at tribal they start talking names, right? Luke tells Parvati that Lisa brought her name up, and Parvati, God bless her, she's got that winning smile, and she's just all, oh, is that right? And she just looks at him. Here's why Parvati's amazing in her game. She can look at you and just figure out if you're lying to her.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Some people just have a really good read on people, and I think she does. And I think Suri has that same thing. Maybe that's why they work so well together. Um, some of them do not.
Cerie has a really good sense of people,
Yeah.
and so does Poverty.
Uh-huh.
And so honestly does Luke. And what's interesting, and I'm going to say this a couple of times during this
Mm.
podcast, Luke started playing like 2
Finally.
episodes ago. He wasn't playing, and all of a sudden, because I'm like, why is he so complacent? And all of a sudden, he's not. He's
I,
won what, 3 immunities
mhm.
now? I mean,
Yeah.
this guy
Well,
is on a roll, and he
with
by far right now has the strongest resume, I think.
you think?
Sure.
Well, I think like most of his seasons he has played and always been kind of like a player that's always kind of out in front that gets the good what do you call it, one-on-ones. Like
Right.
he's usually really good. This season, yeah, you're right, he was really slow to get his footing
Well,
in this
Shawnee
game.
was too, but she like never got her game going. But Luke all of a sudden kicked it into gear like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, it was like it just took him a while. I think he wasn't sure who he could trust, wasn't sure like, can I push this way? Can I push that way? And once they cleared Kirby out of there, because let's be honest, Kirby being in there, she was running stuff on for the Aussies.
But there's no question,
She got out the big players, and then for her it was just like, okay, this is what I'm going to do once David and George were gone.
it's funny because US, of course, has Chaos Cass,
Mm.
but she is Chaos Kirby, and when she's in the game, there's no telling what happened. Once she got out of the game became a little more
I
predictable.
mean, I don't know that she's chaos. She's just like, she just has such a firm, I don't know. Like people just do what she says. Maybe
Yeah.
they're kind of a little bit afraid. She's very, I don't know. She just has something in her that makes people do what she wants.
But so at the end of the day, Cass does not read Poverty correctly. I mean,
No, she does not.
that was a moment. It was like heads up, all in poker, and she
Hmm.
read it wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
100%.
she thought Poverty was not voting for her because otherwise she'd have walked up and played. Even if she lied and
She,
said I'm going to play it for Lisa, she could have walked up and said I'm playing it for myself.
sure. She absolutely had trust in poverty and was willing to gamble in that moment. Now, if poverty had gone, if it had been Lisa, then that would have been a good move, I
But even
guess.
even Lisa's wasn't a good move for Cass.
It's because
Cass really needed an Aussie to go home.
they
I,
did,
I mean,
but if they
because
saved Cat, if they saved Lisa, if they had voted Lisa and Lisa had been saved, then Luke would have gone home, and that would have been good for
right,
all of the world people.
right,
But
because
at
going
that,
into episode 7, I had to give the world the edge,
well, because there were still five, right?
and they were unified, where the Aussies were
They were
fighting.
unified, but
Well, they
it was,
appeared to be unified.
but this was the episode where we saw that Tommy and Cass and Lisa Well, Tommy and Cass for sure were realizing, wait a minute, let's be the three of us stick together. Parvati and Spree are a little too chummy
Well,
with that side.
and you know what they should have done? If the world would have just reached out to Shawnee, all she wanted was a home. And they
Right?
would have had 4 votes, and that would have been game, set, match.
But they just, again, maybe they couldn't read the people. Who
I
should
mean,
we
even their
trust?
coordination in this particular vote, 2 votes on Luke, 1 on Shawnee. Why didn't they vote together? It's like they didn't communicate.
Yeah, it's so odd.
Now, you're talking about 3 people separated by a couple different languages.
Hmm.
You know,
Yes, and I wonder if
and
that's part of
Cass
it,
said
right?
it was very, very difficult to play
Mhm.
it not in her native language, and Tommy
Right.
would have felt the same way, obviously.
But for the 2 non-native English speakers on this program, because everybody else, because I think we spoke earlier that South Africa is an English speaking country. No, I mean that's one of their official languages.
Well,
Um,
Lisa was from New Zealand.
but that's an English speaker
Yes.
speaking. So everyone was native speakers except for these 2. They got very deep in the game. So good on them.
Well,
I liked them both.
oh,
Like, didn't you like them both?
I thought Cass was outstanding. I'd like to see her play again. You know, if in a just world she'd be playing on Survivor 50 instead of some of the people they have playing, but
I mean, come on, Jeff. Maybe you can have some of these guys come over.
I'm not allowed to do that because apparently it's tiresome and old.
Oh, when I invoke Jeff, I'm just saying US Survivor in general. Like they can reach out and get some other people. We can have another world showdown on
I mean,
American soil this time.
why wouldn't, and we can talk about this at the end, but I'm going to throw this question out and you don't have to answer it now. Just think about it. We'll talk about it at the end. Why wouldn't US Survivor have done US against the world? Why?
I don't know.
I know why. Because it doesn't fit their casting model now.
I think it would be good TV. People would like it. It's
Right,
you don't
but
have to.
but they can't do that
Jeff
because
thinks
they
he's
made
gonna
this
change,
commitment,
but
this
Jeff thinks he's
casting
gonna.
commitment.
Jeff thinks he's gonna change the world with the way that he's doing Survivor
Yes.
right now. He's just not.
Yes.
I mean, your heart's in it. I appreciate it, but that's not.
And at
That's
the end
not
of the
great
day,
TV.
it's a game. And,
It
if
is.
there's people
Yeah.
from around the world who are good at it, why wouldn't you bring them in and put them up against great
Mm-hmm.
US players and see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
That to me
Agreed.
that to me, 2 tribes, US and the world, that would have been,
It would have been really awesome.
I mean, look,
Man, woulda, it still could. Let's just manifest that. Put it out in the universe. Maybe it'll come back to us.
okay.
So Cass goes home on this first vote because she chose poorly.
And
And
then
then
JLP. Shocking.
shocking. We are going to have
Well, we knew
immunity.
something was coming because there was an awful lot of
We-
episode left.
Oh yeah, we were so early in the episode, so it was like, what? But yeah, we're gonna have another challenge. We're gonna have another vote out. And at this point, I knew because Tommy had won immunity the first. Something in my gut when they went to this, I thought Tommy's gonna lose this and they're gonna vote him out next because they
Yep.
just did Cass. And that's exactly what happened. But that challenge, bouncing those 5 balls on those little whatever, the little grooves in that plate
Yeah.
or that, oh, forget it. Forget it.
That looks
I would have
super
been
hard.
oh, super hard. And like you have to balance it with the rope and walk backwards. And I would have been so frustrated.
And I have to think there was something like this when Luke played. Because the way he was doing the rope,
Oh, he was
I'm
so good
positive.
at
I
it.
need to go back and look, but I think there was a somewhat
Well,
similar challenge.
is it or is it the one? I don't know. They have a couple that are kind of like this, right? They've had other ones where you have to hold the rope and hold the table up kind of situation, but I don't think it was balls on there. I think they were stacking something, right?
Right. Well, that's what
And it
Tommy
falls.
just did, right? Tommy
Well,
was stacking the cards, but he was doing
yes.
it on a bounce
Oh yeah, there were a
beam.
lot of stacking in these 3
Yeah,
games.
but he wasn't having to hold it up. He was having to run and keep water in the bucket so it wouldn't.
Oh my gosh, we forgot.
And
we didn't
he's
talk
the
about
only
that.
one who figured out that if you were going to get water, you didn't need to be on the bounce beam. Everyone else went back on the bounce beam, and that's why they lost.
He was awesome at that game. Jamie and I both said we really liked Tommy. We really thought he was interesting. I mean, when he came in on sitting on the tribal and he had his big lone wolf poncho on.
Yep. And did you see the howl he did after he got voted out? That was
Yeah.
cool.
So I mean, I like him too. I mean, that's the thing is they did pick though, and I didn't mind Lisa though. We'll talk about her. Okay, so they do this, and Luke wins immunity. So this would be his first win,
Yep.
but it was pretty clutch. And they vote Tommy out. And what does Luke say? Last man standing. Um, cool, Luke. Cool. Um, but yeah, that was that. And we are now 3-3. It's crazy, but maybe it's not. Harvey and Sri felt like they didn't need to have that group of five to make it. And
Yep.
if
I
and
loved
let's
I
face
loved
it,
I loved Sari, what she said when she voted against Tommy. You never miss a good thing till it's gone. You should have just stuck with the plan, idiot.
I mean, she's not wrong because the second that Parvati was like, "Oh, you're saying my name?
Yep.
Okay, this is over." That was and that and Sri didn't even have to be told.
And that
It
was
was
a
over.
move.
The
That was,
alliance is over.
do you know what that was? That was somebody trying to build a resume by getting a big kill. I mean, I don't mean kill. I mean
Right,
a
right. A
big
big yes.
eviction.
Right.
But because Tommy thought if he got poverty out, that would be a great thing on a resume, as it
and
would be.
it would be. And
But he was a vote too early for it. One more, if they had 3 going into the next one.
listen, if they had this double eviction, and let's say Tommy wins, and they do vote out Luke, okay? They vote out Luke right there. And then they have the thing again, they vote again. Parvati, I don't think was gonna win that. I mean, no one was even close. And so well, maybe no one wins it. I don't know if Luke's not there. But what I'm saying is when you do that quick second vote, that's where you take out a big person.
Yeah. Yep,
And
exactly, because they don't have time.
that's where you take out Parvati.
I
But
had the thought that when he announced the second vote, that he should have simply made them all go and no one's allowed to talk. And now you have to vote.
that would be a silent tribal.
But I still think it would have been Tommy.
Oh, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
at that point they were like,
Because they were
"Wait a
going to vote
minute."
Tommy out if he didn't win immunity before that. So
Number one, and Mr. David Gott, you have to give props. Parvati is all about a girls' alliance. She's making it work again, isn't she?
is it really? I mean, yes and no. She's
Um,
She's working an awful lot with Luke,
right now, because
who
I
I
think
believe
she's
has a penis. I'm not sure. I've never seen it, but
correct, but is that her real alliance?
well,
I
no,
don't
her
think
only real alliance is Sari in my mind.
correct. She is not alliance. I mean, I think that the argument can be made watching all these 3 episodes this week that she is cautiously like with she's cautious with him. She's watching him, but I don't think she's aligned with him. Um, she's just all keeping him in the right spot so she can feel safe, right?
Oh, I think that's fair.
Um, but I mean, there's one guy left. After this one, we were down to 5 and just one, or no, 8, 1, 2, 3.
And so Tommy goes
Five
home.
women,
Tommy
one
goes
guy.
home with 5
Yeah.
votes. He votes
Mm-hmm.
for Sari, and Lisa
Mm-hmm.
votes for Janine.
Which
Again, the world not talking
Lisa. I mean, why
because
can't
she
we
wouldn't vote for Sari. That's why.
that's fine, but then
But yet the episode before she was willing to go home so Tommy could play. I don't understand. Who was she loyal to?
no, that was this one. Wasn't that
Yeah.
this one? Right here. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like,
but I'm saying,
I want to quit. No, 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 no. If you
but Lisa's like a hot mess. I don't
if
know.
you quit,
Somebody's
we're
still getting voted out.
we're still voting out. You'll be gone. You will not be on jury. And someone's still going to be voted out right now. So
Right.
she was like, "Oh, it's not going to save him." So she decides she doesn't want to quit. But I think that her moment, and right in that moment, was I think she had done her very best. She thought to stay loyal to Sari and by extension Parvati. And I think the idea that they were like suspicious of her now, maybe because of things that Cass and different people and Tommy said. Do you know what I mean? I think she was just like, I can't believe this. I tried to do the right thing and not write Sari's name down. And now no one's going to
I
trust me.
totally agree with that, but I don't understand if you're willing to throw your game away to save somebody.
Right.
then how do you turn around and
To
not
win.
vote with that person?
Right. Oh, true. Absolutely. And also, here's the deal. Before they went to tribal, she was not going to write Cerie's name down and she was going to stay loyal to Cerie. Why not tell Cerie that that was their plan? So she wasn't really playing, right? She had her own game and wasn't taking into account that there were other people playing in the game with her because if you care about Cerie so much that you can't write her name down, you best tell her when people are talking about writing her name down. And if she'd done that, none of the other craziness would have continued.
No, I'm
Um,
saying. So let's pop over to episode 8.
yep, yep. So now at this point, Lisa's trying to mend her relationships, right? And she tries to split up Luke from the other Aussies, right?
Right.
And I think she I mean, it's great that she's trying, but she needs someone with her to try. And I think at this point, nothing's really going to work um, to help her. No one's really going to jump onto her team now,
No,
right?
no, no. Well, at this point, her game's a hot mess. Let's
It
call it what
is.
it is.
Yeah.
She's
She's not
not
winning.
voting with her alliance
Yeah.
of the world didn't vote together.
Yeah. Literally.
She was going to go home to save Tommy, but wouldn't vote for Cerie.
Right.
Her game doesn't make sense, and when your game doesn't make sense, no one's going to trust you.
Right. But she does continue to feed that flame in Parvati of the paranoia. And this is healthy for Parvati, I think. I don't think that Parvati doesn't, she's not so oblivious or full of herself that she's oblivious that people want her out. She's known this entire time. But you know, it's good for her to know this one. So they go do the immunity challenge, and it's that one.
Oh,
That
and I love this. I have to say, as a fan of Australian Survivor,
yeah.
to see Luke get his redemption in this
Yep.
particular challenge, and the fact that they showed it and they showed how devastated he was
Yeah.
when he lost it the first time.
No, that's storytelling.
That's storytelling. It's not, oh my God, you have a sad, so very sad story that it's gonna like pull at
You
our
owe a quarter for
heartstrings.
that.
I know. Jamie, I owe a quarter.
Sorry. She'll keep a tab. Yeah, it was really interesting because you know those are things that just happen. They can't push it or pull it or
Right,
whatever.
but that was
Like
authentic, right?
it was
like,
authentic, yeah.
and then he won it. It was his second immunity in a row.
Yep. But oh wow, was that interesting? I was sitting there while I was watching it, and Serena being really good on that one. You were out, Janine and Shawnee were out before Sari on this. And so I was like, oh yay, Sari. And then of course it came down to
Oh, and Poverty was obvious. I mean, she had the two balls were separated by like a foot.
oh, because you gotta wait. You can't. And the thing is that once you might go, you're counting, right? And but you drop it and it's like, oh well, that wasn't too soon.
There's literally no way I can make it back up the
Yeah,
stairs and
no.
back down.
She tried though. She did try.
No, you know what would have been smart of her
Like
is
try and
and I
check
don't think
it.
she can do it, but would have been at that point to know she knew it was going to drop. Just go over and try to distract Luke. Luke, let's
Have
work
his
together.
drop-
Let's make an
his drop
alliance.
before
Let's
yours
do
drops.
this, you know?
Kick sand in his face. Who cares?
Hoping that he drops before because she had no hope once that ball hit the table. But I like the redemption, story for Luke.
Yeah, it's
Luke
a nice
has
story
always
for
been
him.
Luke has never been my favorite player, but he's always a player I've enjoyed watching play.
Yeah, it's like he's not someone that you don't like. He's
No.
likable.
He's
he's
very
likable.
super likable.
And he seems like a decent guy. I mean, they wouldn't have him back on.
Like David's game gets annoying because David likes himself a little too much.
I mean, same as George. Let's be fair. Except one of them.
Okay, but one of them.
Okay.
Like George has no really reason to love himself,
but he does.
But David is good looking, good at challenges,
I mean, he's
physically.
tall,
yeah, right.
He's like buff. He's super handsome. He's charismatic. He's like this full package.
It's like if Carly Simon was going to write a song, she'd write "You're So Vain" about David.
Probably.
Yes.
Probably. Um, anyway, so he wins immunity, and then what happens immediately? Luke and Janine are discussing whether Shawnee is loyal or not. And
Which
it's
is a
like,
fair question.
it is a fair question, but if you're questioning that, why aren't you freaking hanging out with her more? It's obvious that Shawnee's a little bit lonesome and doesn't have anyone. Janine, you're a business person. Do you not understand how relationships are done? You need to go over there and invest some time in making her your bestie in whatever way that is.
But I
She
think
did it.
because I think this was as close to a by the numbers vote like you would see earlier in the game, where I'm just going with what the group wants to do.
Hmm.
The group decided Lisa was going home. She was going
Yeah.
home, and that was the end of it.
Yeah. But
Because
there,
they voted unanimously, 5-1.
but well, I mean, it's kind of easy when that person threatened to quit the last tribal. Go, "Oh, okay.
Well, and both of her allies were gone. She had nobody
Right.
left. Although, see, a savvy person would have said, okay, this is a vote and no threat to win. Let's go after somebody who's a threat to win. So I don't understand either Luke or Poverty sticking with their alliance at this point, because you should have made a move against one or the other, but they're afraid of each other so much that they didn't.
It's really amazing.
And of course,
isn't
of
it?
course, they both know
Okay.
that they each have an idol, because
Okay,
Luke
'cause
stupidly
That's what happens here.
tells
Luke,
the one person who can take his idol that
no,
he has one.
it's stupidity followed by stupidity. Okay, so Luke decides that he's trying to figure out, how can I prove to Parvati, how can I earn her trust so she trusts me until I need to cut her, right? That's what he's thinking. And so he thinks, oh, I know, I'll tell her about my idol, an idol which he has told no one, not even Janine. And so he tells her, knowing that she has that thing that she can claim as idol. And if she was smart, she would have done it right then and there,
Well, why didn't she?
because she's afraid. I think at this point she was still afraid, but she couldn't just take his idol and use it tonight. Who cares? You still have another one, right?
Well, I think she would have guaranteed, if she'd have taken his idol there, she'd have
Mhm.
guaranteed her safety that night and the next night, and that's all she could do with him.
Unless she was just super
I
nervous
mean,
about Celine being gone too.
in other words, why didn't she take
'Cause
his
there were only
idol
'cause
and
at
vote
that
him
point,
out?
because it was this tribal on
It was 6 and
episode,
then 5. And that's it.
right,
That's the only
right.
the
So
last
if you
time you
have
can
2
use
of them,
one.
you use it and use it, and
And
you're done
then you
anyway.
can't use them anymore anyway. So
I
that's
think
why
she was afraid. Her
I
only
don't
fear,
get what she was thinking.
she was afraid if she did that, then they were gonna target Suri. Which,
Okay, but who cares at that point?
well, unless the 2 of them have some
But
other
her,
sort of
Suri, and
agreement.
Shawnee and Lisa could have taken out Luke. It's simple
Absolutely.
math. And I
Absolutely.
don't get. Look, I think Poverty's played a great game. I think
Mhm.
this was a absolute strategic error. The whole
Yeah.
tearing the parchment. What the hell are
Okay,
you
wait,
thinking,
we're not even
girl?
to that yet. We're not even to that. Yeah, so she tells him, then, oh my gosh, they separate. Has some time, and he goes, I think I just messed up. I should have told her that.
Yeah, you
Right?
think? You dummy.
And yeah, so dumb. So then he goes to her with the plan of this, but I told you you're not going to take it, right? And she should have just taken it right there.
I don't
mean,
get why she didn't.
And then it's like this weird game of chicken where he's like, you need to destroy it to give me I trusted you by telling you, you have to trust me by now destroying that certificate. And she's like, oh, okay, I will. And he's like, before tribal. She's like, oh, what, we can do it after. He's like, no, I'd really like it if you did it now. And then she comes up with this idea to split it in 2. And like, yeah, that whole thing was dumb.
It really was. And before we discuss why it's dumb, we're going to take a 7-second commercial break
Okay.
because somebody has to pay the bills. And we're back. Christy, tell us again why Luke was a moron.
So Luke tells the one person in the game that has the steal an idol vote
I just
that he
don't
has
get
an
it.
idol. But without telling his alliance member. She didn't know. Like, Janine's his real ride or die.
And that actually in the next episode played to his favor because they're like, why wouldn't he have told Janine? What is he really doing? Because Suri got very
Correct.
concerned about him.
Correct. And with reason, I think.
And
so,
honestly, the move for those two was to align with Shawnee, and well, we'll get there.
so yeah, so here he is. He's got the
Jamie's
thing,
going to listen to this, and she's going to be like,
You
they
guys are-
couldn't even stay on the episodes.
we jump around. We're hoppers. So yeah,
Jump around.
so he knows that she knows he's got the idol. He wants to get rid of her advantage. He gets her to split it in half. She tears it right in two and gives him half of it. And it's like,
At that point,
our trust.
She might as well have destroyed it, because what possible use could it have been?
Right. It's symbolic only, right? You have
Right,
an
because
idol and I have an idol.
she couldn't take an idol at the next tribal.
Right.
I guess she could have.
No, she could have.
She could have before it.
She could have taken it so that they couldn't use it.
Right, but once she split it, if he had the only other idol, it was worthless to her.
That's true. And so he won the immunity, so he didn't need the idol that night. If she had taken it from him, what if he then wins the immunity the next night? So you both go through again.
Which he did.
Right, which he did. But I'm just saying she didn't know that at that moment. So maybe she's hedging her bets, going, I don't want to rile him up too much because then he'll come for me and then I'm out at 4. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure Parvati's an extremely good player. I'm sure she
but she definitely made a strategic error, because she didn't, usually they figure out all the permutations. It's like she didn't realize if she took it, she was safe that tribal and the next one. Or if she knew she was safe at this one, she kept her and Suri safe at the next one.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have taken that idol? It's insane.
Or don't split it. Give the advantage to Suri and let Suri take the advantage up to him, and she takes his idol.
Right. Either way, right? Then you vote out Lisa, and the two of you are guaranteed Final Four. And you let the Aussies fight over who goes home. Or you take out the biggest threat, which is Luke at this point.
And then maybe if you stress them out that much, maybe Luke doesn't win immunity. If you're so relaxed because you have an idol, maybe because yes.
Right. You could picture this. Picture the immunity challenge with Suri and Parvati both knowing. And what was the immunity challenge? What was the final one that Luke won?
The obstacle course.
Right, the obstacle course with the stacking.
They're not.
Right.
They're not quite. Yeah.
Imagine that Jonathan starts it, and the two of them just put their idols on and sit down and smile.
Yeah.
And just go, I'm not even playing. We don't have to play.
Seriously. Why didn't she do that anyway?
I don't get. Well, okay, because here's the thing:
to stop him from getting it.
If you win the immunity, then you could take your idol and basically bring someone else, right?
Yes, all true. Yeah, that's true.
But my point is that it would have gotten their heads massively, and
yeah, it would.
But that isn't what happened. So they vote out Lisa unceremoniously.
Now, the only thing that Lisa did say at Tribal that I thought was a good thing to throw out there, just throw it out there like a grenade and see the looks on their face, was just she said, only 3 of you can sit at the end. You know what I mean? Like only, right? It's the finals 3.
Right. Well, we think.
Yeah. Okay,
we don't know. Ask Suri how that happened.
But she does say that there's only 3 spots.
And by the way, Australian Survivor has a pretty good history of Final 2.
Okay, so either way, but the point is like you guys are gonna have to start taking each other out. And she was right. Like she's all by herself at that point. You didn't even have to waste your time on her. She was not winning this. My attitude about Lisa was that she was the GOAT you could take all the way.
Right.
She is not winning it at all.
Right. And that's, I guess my point is, why wouldn't you have wanted to?
Right. So at this point, okay, you can't take out Luke because
and you take out Janine.
You take out Janine because if you can't take out the person who's winning these immunities in a row,
take out his ally.
You take out the person that's giving him that comfort. Yeah, but nope, they decide nope. Lisa gets voted out, and it's yeah, and it's very
It's unanimous except Lisa, who voted for someone else, obviously.
correct. And that was kind of, I don't know, whatever. It's fine, but
And the
whatever.
amazing part about this game, because it's been so good, is Lisa was voted out on day 13. Now,
Yep.
realize Australian Survivor is usually 48 days. They're not even getting warmed up on day 13.
Right. Day 13, they're still trying to figure out how to make fire or something.
Well, Cherie's still trying to make fire, and she's like
Okay, wait
the
a minute.
fifth
Sorry.
season. And
Walked right into that one.
yeah, you did.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
Jamie. That's another quarter. Or no,
Um,
that wasn't about Jeff. I'm not paying a quarter
no,
for
that's
that.
just that way, yeah. So we go into episode 9, and now the tribes are screaming to vote out Shawnee next. And I gotta tell you, I've been a little nervous this week because I've been a little nervous with my pick over somewhere else. And now I'm like, this episode starts and it's Shawnee. And I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Really? There's 4 of you and you're gonna take out Shawnee. That's where you want to go? Come on. It seemed like that was gonna be a broken record. But anyway, so Janine's hoping that she can convince Parvati and Suri to take her over Luke to final 3. And I'm going to tell you right now, the way that Janine could do that is if Janine would have got him to not win immunity. If she would have said to him, Luke, can you already have an idol? Can you let me try to win this immunity so that I can be safe tonight too? You know what I mean?
Well, but that's ultimately what he did. He won and then gave it to her.
True, that's true.
I mean,
but
so
yeah,
I wondered for a minute if there would have been like a spanner in the works. Suri could have gone home again because everyone else was protected.
yes.
If Shawnee would have had like an idol no one knew about,
Because
Suri would have gone home
because
again.
we got to a point where there's 5 players.
Right, there's
2 have
2
idols
idols and an immunity necklace, so
and
that's 3.
that's 3 people can be safe, and that's scary. But that's because these guys have held on to their idols for so long. Let's talk about that for a second. So this is the last day for them to use their idols.
Right, so clearly they're going to use them.
It's pretty amazing because both of them found their idols well.
I think Luke had his longer.
He had his longer, but it is a remarkable thing that neither of them felt triggered to
Well, but
use it preemptively.
Luke, no one knew he had it until he told Parv, or
But
Parv exposed hers.
No point did he ever get afraid that, oh, maybe I need to play this tonight, right?
No.
And that's the beauty of not telling anyone you have it, because then no one can freak you out and make you paranoid to use it.
Well, exactly.
Oh, so well done, Luke. You know what? Maybe he needs better praise for that.
And so they play the immunity challenge, which is the obstacle course with the stick with the fork on it.
And they got to step
and it was wonderfully edited and wonderfully previewed, because I was convinced Shawnee was going to win, which would have thrown the whole thing kittywampus.
Wouldn't that have been amazing?
Then I mean, it really looked like she was going to win, and you know, it was one of those where she just had the wrong position with the wind. And
okay, let's talk for a moment. If Shawnee had won, then Parvati and Luke have their idols to save themselves. Right. Shawnee saves herself. Only Janine and Suri can receive votes.
They vote out Janine.
I think so too, because next will be the 4, and they've already seen Suri can't make fire, so you take out Janine, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Suri didn't win.
Well, but they don't. Remember, we're playing Australian Survivor.
We have no idea what's going to happen.
No. We saw the preview. We know exactly what's going to happen.
But they don't know.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They don't know. They could be anything. It could be a hodgepodge of any old thing goes.
Right. No, they're going to be standing on some pegs and holding some shit up.
Yeah, they are. So yeah, they do this, and these were so many challenges, these 3 episodes, that were just those like nail biter challenges, right?
Oh yeah.
The like and so I'm telling you, I get so nervous during them. I have to look away. They really frustrate me.
Look away.
They make me so anxious because like all that work and then it falls and you're like, oh. Um, but anyway, yeah,
I mean, you
Luke
had to
went.
feel bad for Shawnee because what did she have, 6 when it fell?
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it sucked. Anyway, but Luke wins this one too, and Shawnee's worried because it's 2 pairs, right? She
Well,
knows
2
she's
pairs
not
that
gonna.
have aligned, and this is where I say, for such good game players, 2 pairs should have figured out,
They needed
we
her.
don't wanna go up against a pair, let's take Shawnee and break up a pair.
Yes.
I can't figure out why neither Parv nor Luke made that move. And I think it all had to do with this paranoia about the idols, which didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Because well, when they go into tribal, uh sh- Parvati, they know she has her idol, so she puts it on like she had it the day before, and she said, I might play it for myself, I might play it for Sri. We
Right.
don't know. No one knows. Okay. And she thinks that by this bluff, she can keep them both safe. So what does Luke do? He says, like,
Maybe I'll play it for Shawnee. Right.
maybe I'll play it for maybe I'll play it for Shawnee. You know what I mean?
He never
Uh
said Janine because he gave her the
so right, right,
immunity
right, right.
idol.
But like maybe myself and like so the doing the so he steps up and bluffs her right back with the same bluff, and it has the same weight, does it not?
Sure.
You have to just kind of, it is absolutely, do you put the poison in the cup that's closest to you, or do you put the poison in the cup closest to me, right? Like, where are you going to vote? That's where, and so I'm going to play my idol where I think you're going to vote, but you know what I mean? It was really crazy, and I thought it was brilliant, and I don't think we've seen this sort of like level of like
Okay.
playership hitting at the
Okay.
same point. You know what I
Could
mean?
you imagine when he finally said, "You're playing it for Luke," and she said yes, and Luke would have turned around and said, "I'm playing mine for Shawnee." Oh my God.
Well,
Carl
that was the
would have
weird thing is
lost
they're
your crap.
they say we're gonna play them for each other, and this it just goes on and on because both of them, it's like the biggest game of chicken, right?
Right.
Like
You go
who's gonna
first.
flinch
But
first?
eventually Parv went first. And it would have been the biggest betrayal in Survivor history. No, I'm playing it for Shawnee because she couldn't have done a thing. Jonathan was the one that has
Because
played for Shawnee.
and this bluff, this game of chicken is really them looking at each other, and Parvati's trying to use her powers to read what he's like, is he gonna give me a clue? Do I need to play him for him? And he did the same thing. It was really great. It was high tense. Okay, so yeah, they play it for each other, and Shani goes home, and 1 vote for Sri, 4 for Shani.
Yeah.
So again, pretty much unanimous. The person that's going out obviously can't vote for themselves.
Right. So it was
So
unanimous, other
so
than
yeah, another basically unanimous vote this deep into the game. Uh yeah, when we have our final 4, 2 pairs.
okay. So here's where we're at, Christy, and and the time is coming that we have to
Uh-huh.
talk about it
Okay.
is at some point we have to pick new winners picks because
I
Jamie
know
picked
you. She has Parvati, and she's doing good, and you and
right,
I have to pick.
but I'm gonna go first and I'm gonna pick Luke.
Damn it.
And I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna pick Luke. Because Luke right
That's
now,
who I would have picked. Right?
but
That's who I
but
was
but I'm
gonna
gonna tell
pick.
you why, and that's why I was being a jerk because I knew you would have picked him too.
Yeah.
But and you can I'm gonna even allow you to pick him too, and we'll both laugh at JV if you want. But here's why. Luke has won 3
Yeah.
immunities.
Yeah.
He hit an idol forever. He has played the best game. Now there is a bunch of chatter on the Facebook, and the tribe has spoken where they're going, "Oh, Saria's played the best game." Are you kidding me? Are you watching the show?
Have they watched Australian Survivor before?
Oh yeah, these people are like big
Okay, so
fans,
I
and I just
predicted
don't get it.
at the beginning of the season, I predicted that because there's something in reality TV, it almost feels like Murphy's Law. The thing that you think, oh, that shouldn't happen, is the thing that happens,
Sure.
right? Okay. Um, so yeah, so he's kind of on the bottom the whole game, and now he's come out strong, and he is sitting
It's
in the
like
front seat.
it's like he decided I'm not going to do anything for the first half. Kind of like Mark. Remember when Mark said I sat in the water so
Yep.
people wouldn't
No
remember
one
how
knew how
big
big
I
I was. Yeah.
was? It's like Luke just said, "Oh, I'm going to act weak. I'm going to act silly. I'm going to act
I'm gonna
stupid, but
act
I'm
like
not going to play."
I'm gonna act like I'm on the outs, and I'm gonna listen. If you cannot be the absolute bottom, because the big dogs were the bottom on his tribe, right? They took out David. They
Oh,
took out
and by
George.
the way, we had the Power Bottoms Alliance.
Yeah,
Want to remind everyone of that.
correct. But the fact that they had hit those guys so quickly, especially getting David out, that probably made him cool his jets, don't you think? And go, okay.
No, I think
So
that's when he said, I have no one. I'm gonna fade into the background.
yeah.
Shawnee
Now,
was playing that game, I thought, too, but she just never activated her game.
because she didn't have a Janine. He had a Janine as soon as he decided, because him and Janine had
But
played
she
together.
could have had a Janine. Lisa was begging to be someone's
But at
Janine.
this point, they weren't merged. He was with Janine already at the
But I'm
merge.
saying, but
Shawnee
from
never had an
from the
opportunity to.
merge, Shawnee had plenty of opportunity to bring Janine over.
Yes, she did.
Or not
And for
Janine, I'm
some,
sorry, Lisa. Excuse me.
like but I think at that point she was trying to sway Kirby her way away from Sarah. Like, I could have Kirby for me, and
Right.
you know what I mean? And that was a bad play too, because obviously Kirby was not long for the game either. Because once you get out the other two big dogs, guess who's next on that tribe?
No doubt.
Well, I mean, it was Sarah, but it's her too, right? She wasn't going to make it much farther after that. So
So I think Luke has the best resume right now. Do you agree, or would you pick somebody else?
I agree. Just if you, yes, I agree. Just based on the trajectory of his story of how he's played it. Parvati is started up high and she's kind of maintained up high, right? Luke has done this like comeback slope, and he's doing really well. And like I said at the very first episode, that I predicted it was going to be an Aussie that would win this season, because I just don't see how they have this game, and for the Australian, the actual Australians watching this in their living rooms, on live TV. Wouldn't it be sad for them not to have
But I don't
one?
feel like there's been a thumb on the
No,
scale for the
no,
Australians.
I don't either. But I feel like, I don't know. It's just like, it's been my thought the whole time. Like, it was theirs to win, but it was the world's to prove that they could.
Well, but it was
win,
really theirs to lose. They were in a very weak position.
because they put themselves there,
Right.
but it shouldn't have been. This is being aired in Australia.
The world should have won this.
But yeah, right. They should have. But Luke started playing, and he and
Well,
Parvati said it.
and right, and the world. What should have happened is Shawnee should have gone over and played with the 3 internationals, and they would have run the show, and they
Yeah.
would have picked off the other 3, and it would have been.
And honestly, he was not winning these immunities. And I mean, he did beat Tommy that last one, but
Well,
Tommy was good. Tommy was gonna win them, I bet you.
the question is, was he not trying to win the immunities, or did he just get
Gosh,
hot?
that would be a great question to ask him, and I hope someone does after the season's over, because I want to know that, because I felt like Tommy was a real physical threat and a great asset for the World Tribe, if they, for their little alliance. But yeah, without Tommy there, like, yeah, he's gonna win it all. Unless, no, this foot one. How did he do his seasons with the pegs in the foot thing?
Gosh, I don't recall. I have to go back and look before next week.
We'll have to figure that out, because I feel like he's not gonna do. He's tall.
He's heavy. He's a big guy.
These
But
balance things with his arms and stuff, putting those things up there, I think.
But I
was
felt
an
like
advantage for
what
him.
was the challenge where he was grunting and groaning almost right away?
The two holding the beams, right?
Yeah, and I felt like that was a put on. Like he was faking some weakness there. I think he's going to be a badass on the next one. Okay,
I mean, he might be. I'm not
let's
saying he's
call
not.
it as it is. Cirie's not winning immunity. Cirie, there's no
I
way
don't
she's
think so.
standing on the pegs holding something heavy for any length of time.
But you're not holding something heavy. You're just standing on them.
No. There's things they were holding that they're pulled down in front of them. I don't know what it is, but
Oh, were they? I see. Maybe I didn't see the previews.
but the point
Usually,
is,
it's
but
just
even if it was just standing on the pegs, Cirie would not last 2 minutes.
that one year that they did it, where you're standing on the pegs and they kept lowering this roof down.
Oh, that was with George.
Oh, that was a good one.
But do you remember? Well, you never saw the first season on Channel 9, which is be season 3, where Christy came out of nowhere and talked the other two into stepping down. It's the greatest final tribal.
Really?
Ever. Oh, you got to watch it. It's
Okay.
it's insane.
I will go back.
This person
back the
who
of people were
did
on
not
this one.
even close to play the best game ended up winning because of how she handled the end. It was incredible.
Oh.
It's the best final episode of Survivor in history in my mind. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I will definitely go back. There wasn't anybody from that season playing, so I hadn't watched that season. I had gone back and tried to fill in the gaps, so I would know all the players for this one. But anyway, yeah. So I think that's a good pick. Well done. So you leave me who?
Well, you can join me if you want, and we can just mock Jamie if we're right. But if you do that and we lose, we're going to look really dumb, and she's going to dance on our heads.
I think that in this peg challenge, I think Parvati is going to be good at it.
So you're aligning with Jamie. Wow.
No. I'm not picking Parvati. I'm just saying I think she'll be good at this challenge because of the whole.
Right, but we're talking about ultimate winner.
I know that. So I think Jamie's doing good. I think I'm gonna pick. I have to pick Cirie. I'm sorry, but whatever. I'm not even gonna tell you. I don't even have to explain why. I just am. There's only two. It's between Cirie and Janine, and I feel like Parvati will continue.
And no one's voting for Janine. I don't think.
No one's going to vote for Cirie either. But I feel like Parvati is gonna want.
It's funny because Facebook is convinced Cirie's got all the votes.
No.
I know the Facebook people are dumb. Sorry.
They're often not.
The real fans are on Twitter and Blue Sky.
No, that's not true. We have our own Facebook group.
Oh, yes, we do. I'm sorry.
Yes, we do.
It's true. I forgot about Tally the Votes on
our Facebook group, the people are not dumb. They're very smart. And I feel like there's some people who just don't analyze things the way that we do. So, and that's fine. That's fine. They can just watch it and be casuals. They don't have to be obsessed losers like we are. But why wouldn't you want to be, right? Did you put up the tally the votes on Facebook? Yep, there we are. Well, I guess I can go ahead and just read all of that.
Well, no, we got to talk too. If you want to tell me why I'm wrong, because Jamie isn't here to do it tonight, tally the feedback at yahoo.com. And you know what's funny? I realize right now there could be feedback right now, and I haven't even looked. So while you're reading the disclaimer, I will look.
All right. So Jamie, because she always does this because she's the professional here. But anyway, so that's what we got. If you enjoyed our podcast,
like and subscribe because we like that.
And subscribe. It helps us build our base. And your feedback, if you email us or join our Facebook group, that helps us too. We have our Tally the Votes Insta at what is that one? Is it just Tally the Votes?
Tally the Votes.
There you go. Easy. Couldn't make it easier for you. And if you want to listen to us, you probably are listening, but we have our audio stream that's on anywhere you find your podcast. It's on the Jay and Jack Whole Enchilada and also the Tally the Votes feed. And so you can do that. Maybe you want to run around or try some of these challenges while we're talking in your ear, whatever. But speaking of Jay and Jack, we want to give a shout out. There's a couple of people who make this production and all productions on Jay and Jack a little easier. And those shout outs are going to be to those patrons who contribute at a certain level. That is Eckhart Richter, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed
the creepy poopy head mailman. I've always wanted to say it.
Well, then you say it. but I love Mailman, so he's awesome. And yeah, if you want to be a patron, you go to patreon.com/Jane Jack and support our podcast and other podcasts on this amazing network. We got the broadcast, the Ramblecast, Amazing
Oh, in
Races
our
about to
own,
start. We
and
have
Tally the
a
Votes talking
regular
about Big Brother tomorrow.
talking about Big Brother and other stuff, and whatever we just feel like talking about. We always have something that we want to talk about. So yeah, so I guess we have one more episode left. That's coming out
Sunday.
We've said it before. It's very odd that for some reason, the Australian networks like to make us jump through hoops. They didn't advertise
Oh my
the
God!
schedule.
It was like pulling teeth trying to find out when the episode was
Right.
on.
It's like we just want to schedule what's going to be the air dates for the different, and you couldn't find it anywhere.
So we're going to
It's very
record
weird. Anyway,
on
maybe one of our
Tuesday
Aussie
night.
listeners can
Tuesday
explain.
night for the finale. I know that's a couple days after the finale airs, but we're doing it because Jamie's traveling and we really want her back for the final episode
Yeah.
because clearly Christy and I cannot be trusted alone.
Well, no, when we talked this weekend, she said, like, please do not let David record without me. I really don't want to miss it. And I said, we would not do the finale without you.
No, we would not. We would not do that.
It feels weird.
It does. It does. It's like it's like the two kids. We're just eating all the candy, and like mom's not home to stop us, so we're kind of giggling about it.
Well, yes, you let the two hyper kids do the podcast. Great. Well done.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's all we got. Tomorrow night we will be on talking about Big Brother.
9:15 Eastern. 15 minutes after the live eviction, we're there.
And I think I'm going to be sad this week again.
I do indeed.
And we are going to be joined tomorrow night, since Jimmy's still gone. We're going to be joined by our good friend Brian. He's going to come and give us some obsessed, like crazy rants.
He has watched 37 seasons of Survivor in like 3 months.
Okay, you guys, a year. When did he start? He had never watched Survivor.
I don't even understand. But anyhow, he's going to be talking about Big Brother tomorrow.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
He's watching the feeds like 4 hours a day.
But the first season of any Survivor he watched was this last season of Australian Survivor, right? So he started with the Aussie. So that's a high bar. Then you go back and watch all the US years, which many years were better than some. Anyway,
so until the final episode, we've had a great time without the normal constraints. But I have to say, I've kept my language, civil.
Yeah. I mean, you have a couple quarters to pay, but none for swearing. Nothing in the swear jar.
Jeff sucks.
Ka-ching.
All right, we're out of here.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Good day, mates. Good day, mates. Good day,
That's the best one.
Good day.